Satnam. In this video, I wanted to introduce you to the segmented breath technique. If you're new to it, it takes a little bit of time maybe to get familiar with it. There's some key things to keep in mind. So the idea of a segmented breath is that we're taking the inhale and breaking it into parts as well as the exhale. It's considered still to be a full inhale and a full exhale. We're just breaking it up into little sniffs. So this is where it's really helpful to remember that we breathe through the diaphragm, through the belly, rather than the lungs. Many of us have a somatic imprint of breathing through the upper chest. And if you do that, and when you do that, you don't have a lot of lung capacity to be able to really get a lot of breath in. We're really meant to breathe from here, from the lower center. So if in the Kriya that we're doing this month, the Glandular Balance series, we're breaking the breath into 16 parts. And that's a lot. So if you're used to breathing from the top of your lungs, you might find it easier to just start with a shorter segmented breath pattern so that you can really get into the belly and move yourself and work yourself up so that you really focus on developing the technique of segmented breathing just to get the body to relax. So what we're doing in segmented breathing is we're actually engaging the breath through these what are called little sniffs, but they're not really kind of deep sniffs. They're small sniffs, and you want to keep the balance so these rhythmic pulses are regular and consistent and equal parts. And you're always ending at each segment. So a full breath in, take a moment, and then a full breath out. So I want to just kind of give you an example of it if you haven't watched the video of the Kriya that we're working on here. So it's really helpful to remember that pushing all the air out first helps you take that nice beginning breath. So we're going to just start by inhaling. And then exhaling as you press the navel towards the spine to push all the air out, emptying. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start kind of taking these little snips. So that's one long inhale in 16 parts, one long exhale in 16 parts. What you're going to find is that your navel is going to move, except it moves in a different way. So as you're breathing in air, your belly is going to expand, and then as you're breathing out, your belly is going to contract. That is ideally the pathway of the breath. The other thing to keep in mind is that you're kind of sensing the airflow in the inner passages of the nose rather than like really sniffing and really squeezing the nostrils in. So it's a light breath. You're really lightly bringing the sniffs in. So what you're causing is air passage through the nostrils that's stimulating nerves. And every ratio has a particular benefit. So this particular 16-16 ratio is giving us like a steady breath that gives us strength and stability. So what I invite you to do again is if 16 counts is too much for you to start with 8. Get really good at and comfortable at relaxing at 8 and then slowly increase to 16. The key is to stay relaxed and to lighten up the sniffs. And that will give you more of the capacity to be able to take the breath longer. So I hope this little tip helps. And if you have any questions, just write them in the comments and I will be happy to respond. Okay, have fun. Satnam.